I'm Yelly. I'm the co-founder of In Creative Co. and I rate Airtable a 5. Before Airtable, I was setting up my social media calendar on a Google Sheet. I was doing that personally, and I was doing that for some assistants that were working with me. And it seemed to work nicely while I was doing it. But then when I started working with a official social media manager, they set their own document up on a Google Doc. And I found it really challenging because it was a vertical orientation, and so we would have to make the font size like a 6 to be able to see everything across. And sometimes part of the cell would bleed onto the next page. It just was not the right platform for a social media calendar. So we went over to Airtable. I actually told my social media managers I need to move us off of this Google Doc. We either need to go over to Notion, to a Google Sheet, or to Airtable. Let's check them all out and see what's best for us. So I ended up finding out that Airtable felt the best because I really liked how the cells were all color coded, and then you could open up and expand one line into a vertical format and just see that one post at a time. So I could either go down the row or open that up into its own section. And that wasn't something that you could do on a Google Sheet, for example. You could freeze your first column, you could move across the row, but then you couldn't open up that one post into its own scroll through, which I really just loved on Airtable. Getting started on Airtable was actually pretty easy. Comparing it to, say, Dubsado, which is not an apples to oranges product, that was a huge learning curve. I actually had to watch videos on Dubsado. I had to be really engaged in the Facebook group, but that wasn't the case on Airtable. Airtable felt so much like a Google Sheet, which I was so familiar with from a decade of working in it. It was just some extra added functions that were so intuitive to use. So it was Google Sheets plus extras that made it even better, that really just felt easy. If you're just starting with Airtable for your business, I can't recommend it to use for absolutely everything. All I know on Airtable is the two uses that I've found. I've used Airtable for my social media calendar, both on my company's account and my personal account, while working with another teammate, a duo who runs my social media. And then I also just started using it for job hunting, where I'm keeping track of all of my different conversations and what I have my eyes on. So that is more a personal use that I may send to a mentor here and there. But it really does. I had the choice to either set that up on Google Sheets or Airtable. And I just felt like I liked the look of Airtable, and it's just felt good to me. So I think you can try out Airtable for free before you subscribe, and then you can color code it, which is really nice feeling too. I think you can share it with more people. So really just check it out, see how it feels. I think you'll like that it's like a Google Sheet with added benefits.